what happens. There's going to, generally, how many x-intercepts are there on a graph? Generally, there's 2. So this will give you both x-intercepts. The first x-intercept will be positive this. The second x-intercept will be negative that. Right? So that's where the 2 x-intercepts are actually going to come from. All right. Emily? What is negative 2 equal to, please? Yeah, well, it's 4. So this is going to change to 2 to here. Plus or minus square root of 4. Now, calculator time. Negative 4 times 3 times negative 8 is going to be what?
Wait. Whoa, no, what?
Slow down.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, stop, guys. Okay, stop. Okay, the question was, where did everything come from? Well, negative 2, like it's, okay, guys, stay with me. Okay, we're good? Okay, negative 2 just means flip the sign to positive here, right? Negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which is just 4. All right, Emily, can you do calculator time? Negative 4 times 3, and then that times negative 8, please.
Yeah, just like minus 4 and minus 24, so I just do minus 1.
Okay, guys, I can't stop. Well, all these have to be multiplied, right? So it's going to be, what else? 12 times 8? 96?
96.
Plus 96. No, just 96. All right, Emily, you're almost done, but not quite yet. 2 times 3 is? Okay, I'm going to take a step back and make sure that we're clear on where all those came from. So what we did, okay, just for, okay, please ask me a question, okay? So what we did was negative 2 is just positive 2. Negative 2 squared is equal to 4. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, and negative 12 times negative 8 is positive 8. All right, so you just have to be accurate on that. Was anyone unable to get that, those numbers? Please be brave, because I'm a pro at this. I'm the second best quadratic formula in the world. I'm in the top 5. I don't know. Okay, Jasmine, you're up. What's 4 plus 96, please? Good. Now we're going to do about 10 of these questions today. So if you're saying to yourself, this is tricky, you can do it. 2 plus or minus the square root of 100. Now, Alistair, what's the square root of 100, please? 10. Okay, so if you look at what I just did, well, can somebody tell me what I just did? What did I just do? Really?
You just separate plus and the negative.
Yeah. So instead of writing it as a plus or minus, I wrote the left-hand side as a plus and the right-hand side as a minus. Okay, and I did that as soon as I took the square root.
So it's just finding out the x-intercept?
Yeah, these are going to give me the 2 x-intercepts, okay? And hopefully it'll give us the same answer for our warm, I'm hoping. All right? Yeah.
So, is it possible that one, are they both be positive or both be?
No. Because no. Because basically there'll be an axis symmetry will be the one point and one will be the left, one will be the right. Right, so the axis, what's that? Well, the axis symmetry can be negative, yeah. So both the answers can be negative. But, okay, let me rephrase. Both answers can be negative, but there has to be a plus and a minus, right? So this could be like negative 20 and negative 20, plus 1 minus 1, right? Like if there has to be a plus and a minus, but both answers could be positive, both answers could be negative. All right, Jessica, what is 2 plus 10, please?
12.
Good. Hopefully that's what we had. All right, Noah, what's 2 minus 10, please?
Negative 8.
Great. What's that in lowest terms? Well, they both divided by 2, right? So negative 4 over 3. Okay. Now, I intentionally gave you one that worked beautifully. Okay, because I said the whole purpose of this thing is to get the things that don't work nicely, okay? This will work always for you, okay? But the point is, this works also if it doesn't work out beautifully. The reason you can tell this works out nicely is because the 100 evenly square roots. Okay, so it works out. I'll give you one more nice one as a class, and we'll move on to something slightly more difficult. I know I did one example, and it's horribly difficult. Like this formula is magic to you. It's just gonna do it, okay, but it is, by the end of the course, he said, oh man, I'm so glad Sadler gave me that quadratic formula, so that when he gives me 1204x squared minus 338 plus 896 equals 0, I can instantly do that. Here we go, example 2.
Wait, is that the answer?
That's it, those are the two answers, right? Those are the two answers.
Really only transforming answers.
That's all we're doing here, that's it. Okay. So this is the same, it looks horrible, but if you take a look, we just did the same thing the other faster. Now, the thing is, the reason, and that's the same answer we did here, right?
And when we do the complete the square, we're just going to
Reverse
vertex.
Yeah. Okay, example 2. I do one that, sorry, go ahead.
Just say
Solve for x either way. One, like, what I will do is on this test, I will say solve using the quadratic formula, because I'm telling you to use it, because this is the quadratic formula unit. But after this specific unit, right, because here's the problem, I'll give you a question like this.
The only way we'll be able to solve it is using the quadratic formula.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. It's like one test, that's all. Okay, now let's, because the question was here, here's the thing, so I'm gonna jump on Natalie's question here. Because she said, Mr. Sadler, we have a choice of what we want to use, and I'll say yes. For myself, I love factoring. I hate quadratic formula, I'm gonna say it. Although I'm the 5th best quadratic formula in the world, I much prefer factoring. But unfortunately, I get a question like this. Now, Caleb, I want to factor this one, I really do. Okay? Let's try and find two numbers that multiply to what? What's the M and what's the A, please?
The M would be -5.
Yeah.
And A would be -2.
Okay. Is there any way I can find two numbers that multiply -5 and add to -2?
No.
Not even close. Okay, so this is where quadratic formula actually works. Because we can actually still find solutions for x, even if you can't factor. And that's the whole idea. Caleb, yes. Caleb, you're not done though. Can you recite from memory or from your book the quadratic formula, please?
So,
X equals.
X equals -b
Yeah.
plus minus the square of b squared minus 4ac over 3a.
Great. Very good. All right, Derek, can you give me an A, a B, and a C, please?
A is 5, B is -2, and C is -1.
Okay, now I'm going to slow down here rather than speed ahead like I normally do. So I want to make sure that everyone's feeling good about where the A and the B and the C are coming from, because you guys are going to all have to do this yourselves a lot in the near future, okay? Sort of okay so far? Spencer, since you haven't been here in a week, we're good with this so far? Relatively? No pressure, I'm sorry, Spencer. I miss you, that's why I'm bugging you so much. All right, Aiden, can you be brave, please, and sub some numbers in? Go ahead.
So x equals 2
Yeah.
-2 squared.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. Very good. Now again, Aiden went right, -2, you just wrote that as 2. It's okay to do that. I'm just going to write it in there just to be accurate. All right, Molly, what's -2 equal to, please?
2.
Great. -2 squared is? And -4 times 5 times -1 is? Yeah. Okay, now I'm sorry to pick on you for that. Sorry to pick on you for that. But this is the #1 mistake that's made in grade 10 math and grade 11. Okay? That negative with the 4 is still a negative. So it's -4 times 5 is -20, and then times the -1, change the positive. And that's a very common mistake that's made. All right. Nick, you get the easiest question of the day. What's 4 plus 20? I'm not going to give you that easy question. I'll do one more. Nick, to 3 decimal places, what's the square root of 24, please? You got there? To 3 decimal places.
4.
Okay, so very good, it's 4.898, so what I did was, 890?
Hope you're rounding it. Yeah. Or 899.
899, okay. 899. Oh, yeah, that's 3 decibels, that's okay. 4.899, yeah. So what we did there was, this is a messy question. Now I know it's going to be a messy square root because you can't factor it. For things that you cannot factor, your square root's going to be hideous, all right? As soon as you take the square root of something, that's when you split it apart right away. All right, Lindsay, can you get your calculator for me, please? And tell me what 2 plus 4.899 equals to. Great, and you're not quite done yet? Divide that by 10, give me an answer. Noah, it's time to shine. What is 2 minus 4.899 equal to, please? Try again. 2 minus 4.899. Good. Okay, can you divide that by 10, please? Yeah, so you're doing decimal, that's going to be, yeah. Okay. Now, these numbers are messier when there's things that can't be factored, okay? That's the thing. But this is what the quadratic formula will do for you. It allows you to factor anything, which is nice. You can give your roots for any quadratic. You can guess we're going to graph these on Friday. That's going to be the wrap up for this unit. Bailey?
Do you always want 3 decimal places?
I will say on the question, generally 2 or 3 is fine, okay, either one. I want to get you guys as accurate as possible. I'm going to pause in the video. I'm going to give you guys one to try for yourselves.